Hello folks, welcome to the Poly Champions YouTube. You've probably heard of speedrunning for games like SuperMario or SuperMetroid, but did you know there's also a competitive group of Polytopia speedrunners? It's true. So how do you speedrun a turn-based strategy game? We'll show you the progression of Polytopia speedrunning and the strategies players use to set new world records. And if you're inspired to beat some of these old world records, or maybe you just miss the good old days and want to play Polytopia with whales, stay tuned until the end of the video to see how you can play previous versions of Polytopia. The goal in speedrunning Polytopia is to win a single-player mode as quickly as possible. There are different categories based on the tribe, number of bot opponents, difficulty level, and the game version. For this video, we're mostly going to be focusing on domination and perfection modes. For years, a select group of champions dominated the leaderboards, month after month, pushing each other to new world records. Often, a certain player would hold almost all the leaderboard spots, only to get knocked down by a rival. Many tried to hold all the world records at once, but to this day, only one player has claimed that achievement. The very first Polytopia speedrun record was set by Acrogenis in March of 2017 with a time of 5 minutes and 24 seconds. The category was domination, any percentage, easy mode. In this category, you can play as any tribe against any number of easy bot opponents. Naturally, that turns into a 1v1 against an easy bot. As you might expect, this first run was not optimized and mostly resembles a casual playthrough of the game. Not long after this, Kavlo32 got the domination any percentage easy run time down to 20 seconds and introduced the original optimized Umaji strategy. During these first versions of Polytopia, the bots would often leave their capital empty. An Umaji rider could get to an opponent's capital in just 2 turns, then capture it on the 3rd turn. However, the unit movement in this run could have been improved. In September of 2017, Galactic Guard arrived on the scene. While the first entry did not break the world record, they kept at it. Galactic Guard followed Kavlo's strategy and shaved 1 second off the previous time to set a new world record of 19 seconds. Galactic Guard also submitted the first ever free tribe percent run with a time of 9 minutes and 57 seconds. This category restricts the player to one of the 4 free tribes and 3 bot opponents playing as a free tribe. It was originally created so players who didn't purchase any tribes could still compete in speedrunning without a disadvantage. Much like Acrogenis' first any tribe percent run, there wasn't too much of a strategy or optimization used. This first submission was a casual playthrough of the game. In December of 2017, the first run in the perfection category is submitted by Knash with a time of 3 minutes and 21 seconds. The strategy consisted of avoiding interactions with any other tribes and getting points by researching technology and upgrading cities. While they only had a final score of 4,400 points, remember, their goal was not to get a ton of points. They just needed enough. With speedrunning perfection, you only need to have a higher score than all the other bots by the end of 30 turns. In April of 2018, Galactic Guard beat Knash's initial perfection any percent easy run for a new world record of 1 minute and 48 seconds. Galactic Guard doesn't bother to upgrade any cities. The strategy here is just to get as many cities by capturing as many villages as fast as they can with that Umaji rider. Domination free percent easy got a new record in July of 2018 with Exotic Panda beating Galactic Guard with a time of 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Exotic Panda used a pair of knights to take out the final enemy city. Part of the reason they could save so much time was because they could capture each city with fewer units. Throughout 2019, Galactic Guard has the top record in almost every category. While the Domination Any % Easy category sees numerous other runs, Galactic Guard stays on top of the leaderboard. Despite some players getting close, with 3 runs under 25 seconds, none of them were able to beat Galactic Guard's world record of 19 seconds. Throughout 2019, in the Domination Free % Easy category, Leox Hurt and Galactic Guard trade the world record several times throughout the year. In February of 2019, Leox Hurt got the time down to 4 minutes and 4 seconds, 40 seconds faster than the previous time. While the strategies for the 2 times were quite similar, Leox Hurt played Umaji and opened with 2 riders. They used lots of riders to brute force their way into enemy cities and explore faster. Shortly after, Galactic Guard cuts that time down by 2 seconds with a similar 2-rider opening strategy. In their next speedrun, Leox Hurt gets the time down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds by buying climbing on the first turn and moving onto a mountain ruin. Luckily, those ruins give population, upgrading the capital and improving their economy. As a result, Leox Hurt was able to afford knights earlier and conquer faster. Right away, Galactic Guard gets a new record 8 seconds faster. They do this by getting 2 riders and not even bothering to claim villages for the first few turns. After getting climbing, they're able to get 2 capital snipes, sending riders into unoccupied bot capitals. In December of 2019, Leox Hurt managed to cut almost an entire minute off of Galactic Guard's record, earning a time of 2 minutes and 36 seconds. The main time saver came from an extremely lucky map layout. There was only one large landmass with bot tribes arrayed along the edges. Leox didn't even bother to capture any villages or ruins. They avoided attacking the bots, luring them into a false sense of peace, then dropping a rider into that empty capital. None of the bot tribes captured any other cities, so Leox Hurt only had to capture those bot capitals to destroy all the tribes. A month later, Galactic Guard beats Leox Hurt's record and breaks the 2-minute mark in the Domination Free % Easy category with a time of 1 minute and 58 seconds. Galactic Guard used the double rider opening to expand fast. The Imperius bot left its capital open, and on turn 4, Galactic is able to destroy that tribe. As before, climbing is a solid strategy to get vision and explore faster. On turn 6, the Chin-Chi bot leaves its capital open, sealing its demise. Leox Hurt was never able to get a run under 2 minutes, and Galactic Guard's world record in this category held for over a year. Galactic Guard's dominance on the leaderboard continued in 2019, including Perfection, Any % Easy, and in the Domination Any % Normal, Hard, and Crazy categories. While many records were submitted in 2019 by other little-known players, Galactic Guard quickly came in to claim all of them. In 2020, speedrunning Polytopia saw 2 big changes: the Moonrise update and the fall of Galactic Guard. In January of 2020, in the Perfection Any % Easy category, Stealth Stack breaks Galactic Guard's record by 9 seconds. Instead of using Umaji to expand fast, Stealth Stack uses Luxador for an economic advantage. More importantly, Stealth Stack used a completely new strategy. He didn't get any units or claim any villages. He advanced the turns as fast as possible. Then, before the very last turn, he bought climbing, meditation, philosophy, then a bunch of other technology. He was able to win the game without ever having moved his first warrior. 3 months later, H-Binby used the same approach, but with Kiku, ending those turns immediately and buying lots of tech before ending that last turn. This Kiku run got the record down to 35.9 seconds. But right away, Stealth Stack achieved an even faster time of 33.36 seconds. As before, Stealth Stack used Luxador, ending his turns immediately, and he bought a ton of tech on turn 30. He didn't even bother to spend all his stars. He had 63 stars left when he ended the game, got 2,987 points, not even enough for 1 star for the tribe, but it was enough to set a new world record. Willop used a similar strategy to set a world record in the Perfection Free % Easy Run in October of 2020. Unlike previous Perfection runs, where the player captured as many cities as possible, Willop focuses only on upgrading the capital and researching tech. Not exploring the map to find opponent tribes also speeds up the game since you don't have to wait to watch the other tribes' units move around the map. Willop didn't even bother to move that warrior to get that ruin 2 tiles from the capital. This new meta of not making units or finding new cities, only upgrading that capital and getting lots of technology, proved to be the superior strategy and would be used by many other players in Moonrise Perfection runs. However, the biggest change to Polytopia in 2020 was Moonrise. This was a huge overhaul of the game. The developers rewrote the code for Unity and a new platform on PC called Steam. This update came out on August 4th of 2020, and it sped up the game in 3 ways. First, faster movement. Players could make the same moves as pre-Moonrise in less time. This includes moving a rider, ending turns, closing the menus, etc. You can see how much faster this rider can move in iCarly's August 2020 record of 13.56 seconds. This run used the exact same Umaji rider strategy that Galactic Guard used, but in much less time. The second thing that got faster in Moonrise was load times. You can see how much faster the game loads compared to pre-Moonrise in this record set by Littlesnack in October of 2020. Since the timer begins as soon as the loading screen appears, faster load times means faster speedruns. Finally, Moonrise allowed you to skip the game pop-up messages. For example, if you defeat a tribe, you get a pop-up message. At the end of the game, you get another pop-up message telling you the tribe is destroyed and that you have a victory. With Moonrise, players discovered that these ending pop-ups could be skipped by pressing end turn or finish game immediately. At the end of 2020, no single player dominated the leaderboard, and more categories have been attempted. Due to the game's increase in popularity, in 2021, more players than ever were submitting Polytopia speedruns. For the first time, every one of the 64 available categories had been attempted. However, by the end of 2021, one player and one player alone, JB Gaming, would hold records in almost all the categories. In the beginning of 2021, Lima Bean beat Willop's Perfection Any % Easy with a time of 45 seconds using Luxador. Lima Bean used Stealth Stack's stay and tech up strategy of not moving out of the capital, ending turns fast, and buying a lot of tech at the end. A couple months later, Exotic Panda cut that time down by 5 seconds, also using Luxador and that stay and tech up at the end strategy, except that Exotic Panda did it faster. Then JB Gaming entered the speedrunning scene. In July of 2021, JB Gaming set a new world record in the Perfection Any % Easy category. Instead of following that stay put and tech up strategy, he borrows from the original Umaji domination meta first seen in 2017. He sends an Umaji rider to find a Quetzali capital and moves in to capture once it's empty. Then he stays put, ending his turns as fast as possible, not bothering to get any units or tech. That same month, JB Gaming sets records in Perfection, Any % Normal, and Hard categories. His strategy here was the same as in that easy run. Instead of getting a ton of tech at the end, he simply sends that Umaji rider into an empty Quetzali capital and stays put until he reaches turn 30. In his world record for the Perfection Any% Crazy, JB Gaming gets climbing to help him find the Quetzali capital faster. Once he finds it, he follows that same domination-inspired strategy. Wait until that Quetzali city is unoccupied, send in the rider, capture, then skip turns quickly to reach the end of the game. JB Gaming also set records in different types of perfection categories, like the Perfection 9 tribe category. Back when 9 tribes was first introduced, there were only 10 tribes in the game, so 9 was the maximum number of opponents possible. In this speedrun, JB Gaming used a hybrid domination and perfection approach. His tactic combined the rider into empty capital meta and added Stealth Stack's 2020 strategy to stay in a city and tech up. Here, he used a Saimanti Shaman to capture a Barder's empty capital. After this, he stays put, does not make more units, waits until turn 30, then buys every tech for a massive score boost and a new world record. Later, in summer of 2021, a similar story happens with JB Gaming taking over the domination categories on the leaderboards. For the beginning of 2021, Sheikah held the record for the domination Any% Easy, Normal, Hard, and Crazy categories. Sheikah's videos are no longer available. Once JB Gaming showed up in July of 2021, many of those records were shattered. For example, in January of 2021, Tamara set a new world record for domination Any% Normal category of 11.5 seconds. She used a classic Umaji single rider strategy to move into an empty Quetzali capital as fast as possible. In September of 2021, JB Gaming passed Tamris by 0.5 of a second to get a new record in that domination Any% Normal category. He also got new easy, hard, and crazy records in that domination Any% categories, using the same Umaji into an empty Quetzali capital strategy. JB Gaming just did it faster. In 2022, one player would finally achieve what no one had done before. In March, JB Gaming briefly held every Polytopia Speedrun world record. This had never been done before. However, this achievement did not last. Within a matter of a couple months, JB Gaming went from holding all the top records in the domination and perfection categories to holding only 4. 2022 quickly became the era of Sloth Lord. In May of 2022, Sloth Lord beat JB Gaming's domination Any% Easy record by 0.1 of a second. To this day, Sloth Lord holds that world record at 8.33 seconds. Sloth Lord also took the world record away from JB Gaming in the domination 3% Easy category, using climbing to gain vision and find enemy capitals fast. He waited for the bots to leave their capitals open, then moved in. Once he saw the final opponent was on an island, he quickly got sailing and ports. Then he landed a rider and once again moved into an empty capital. The time of 1 minute 42 seconds stands as the current world record in this category today. Here's another example of Sloth Lord overtaking a record set by JB Gaming. In July of 2022, he set a new world record in the Perfection Any% Easy on version 1 through 59 using this hybrid strategy of sending an Umaji rider to an empty Quetzali capital followed by spam skipping turns. This record of 28.06 seconds remains the world record in this category today. By the way, you might think that these versions of 1 through 51 world records can never be beaten because no one's playing older versions of the game anymore, but that's not quite true. It is technically possible to play older versions of Polytopia on Steam. We'll show you how at the end of the video. As impressive as Slothlord's records were, he could not do what JB Gaming had done. he could not get all the world records out. Another big change to Polytopia Speedrunning in 2022 was the diplomacy update. A brand new set of categories was created to accommodate the new version. Also, bots no longer left their capitals empty. Here, Willip used Vengir and a double swordsman opening to kill an Umaji rider in the capital. Selecting for Umaji bot opponents was the meta since riders have less defense and can be killed with only 2 hits. A few days later, StealthStack used Illyrian to get a new record of 20.9 seconds. He used a Polytar and a warrior to kill the Umaji rider in the capital. 1 week after that, Slothlord set a new record using 2 Umaji riders to kill the bot Umaji in the capital. This version 60+ record of 12.97 seconds still holds today. Exotic Panda returned to the leaderboard with 2 world records in the Perfection Free % Easy and Perfection Any % Easy. Unfortunately, Exotic Panda's videos are no longer available. Nitro Speed holds the current world record for version 60+ Perfection Any % Easy category with a time of 48 seconds. He used that stay, skip turns, and tech up at the end strategy, first used by StealthStack in 2020. Nitro Speed set this record in 2023. However, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll get to the Nitro Speed era next. At the start of 2023, the Polytopia speedrunning community had dwindled. The game was getting old, and the player base was drying up. Slothlord still held more records than any other player, but many version 60+ runs had never been attempted or submitted. Not since JB Gaming in 2022 had a single champion ever gotten all the world records at one time. However, the individual levels saw a surge of activity. The individual levels are different from Domination and Perfection, where the objective is to beat the game. Individual levels have a specific target, like getting a completed tech tree or earning a particular monument. In April of 2023, Teop set a new world record for the full map level by sending Umaji riders into the mountains, then getting a lucky explorer from a ruin. Teop cleared out all the fog on a tiny map in 24 seconds. Nitro Speed set a world record for the 100k points in December of 2023. It took a while, 19.5 minutes, and he used Illyrian to set up lots of sanctuaries and earn early income. Since clearing the fog was the main obstacle to claiming villages and earning points fast, he used cloaks for the extra vision to find villages quickly. Once he controlled the map, Nitro Speed used the income from the sanctuaries to build lots of temples and gain more points. Then, Path of the Ocean was released to all platforms in November of 2023. A new version category was created, version 101+, and Nitro Speed started Polytopia Speedrunning. In 2024, Nitro Speed broke world records one after another, both Path of the Ocean version 101+ and Diplomacy version 60+ categories. In March 2024, Nitro Speed set a world record for Perfection Any % Easy in the version 101+ category by following the hybrid approach first used by JB Gaming in 2021. Nitro Speed used a Polaris Mooney to auto-freeze the opponent bot's Mooney. Once Nitro Speed captured the capital, he spam ending turns to finish the game at 38.15 seconds. Nitro Speed also holds the current world record for the Domination Any % Easy category in version 101+. In this game, he used Symanti. He sent his shaman to convert the Polaris warrior into bot capital and win the game in 12.37 seconds. Nitro Speed has submitted over a dozen speedruns, many of which have not yet been verified by the speedrun moderators. His goal is to get world records in all the Perfection and Domination categories. Time will tell if Nitro Speed reaches his goal and achieves what only JB Gaming had before. Maybe someone else will beat those records. Maybe even you. If you're inspired to try speedrunning, be sure to check out the Speedrunning Polytopia Discord server. A link to the speedrunning server is in the description. Before we go, here's how you can play old versions of Polytopia. These instructions can also be found in the description notes. Remember, this only works for the Steam platform, not mobile. First, go to your web browser and type steam //nav/console. Steam should open up with its console. On the console, type download_depot. This part needs an app ID, a manifest ID, and a depot ID. The other parts are not necessary for what we're doing. To get the app ID, I went to steamdb.info and found the app ID for Polytopia. Next, I went to the depot listing and found Polytopia for Windows and for Mac. The last thing we need is the manifest ID, which links the game to the specific version. You can search through the manifest IDs in the Manifest tab. This is a list of all the updates from Steam. For reference, here is a table with some of the major game updates. Again, I'll put all these details in the description so you can just copy-paste from there. Now, go to the Steam console. Say we want to play version 51 Polytopia. Enter the command download depot, then the app ID, then the depot ID, and then the long string of numbers for version 51 manifest ID. Be sure to separate all the numbers by spaces. The download takes a long time, so we'll come back later. When it's all done downloading, you should see a message in the console that says Depot Download Complete with a link to the file. If you didn't do the command right, you'll get some error message, so be sure you have all the spaces in the correct spots. Head to the file location listed. Open up the Steam Apps folder, then the Content folder. However, if you try to launch the game from this file, Steam will not work. Therefore, you need a workaround. You need to move the files from the version 51 depot into that Polytopia folder on Steam. Go to the common folder in the Steam apps and look for Polytopia. You need to copy-paste the version 51 depot files there. I highly recommend backing up and saving all the files in your current Polytopia folder in a separate zip file so you can find them later when you're done playing the old version and put them back. Once you have them safely stored in a zip, delete the original files, replace them with the files from the version 51 depot. After you've copy-pasted, go to Steam and launch the game from your library. The old version of the game will open up and you can play single-player mode just like the good old days. No strategy, no diplomacy, and look, whales! Okay, that's all about speedrunning Polytopia. If you're inspired to try speedrunning, be sure to join the Speedrunning Polytopia Discord server. A link to the speedrunning server and to the Poly Champions server is in the description. As always, please like and subscribe. It helps us a lot. Take care. See you on the next one.